Hello and welcome to another Crochet with Bernie. I made a video the other day on behalf of friends who requested it to start teaching people how to crochet, and I started off by talking about the equipment that you'll need, just basically your wool and your yarn. Now obviously I'm making these in the middle of the madness that we're going through at the moment, and people have found it's difficult to actually get hold of yarn and wool, or it won't be delivered for weeks. And if you're anything like me, when you get the idea in your head you want to do something, it's like, I want to do it now. Why do I have to wait for my wool? It's just too much. Which I know is a really small thing in light of whatever's going on, but you know, it's important to people. So what I thought I'd do today is actually show you a really easy thing to do that you can actually start practicing a basic stitch at home without your yarn and without your crochet hook. Okay, right, first of all, got a couple of crochet hooks here. I'm going to use this nice purple one, and I'm going to show you how to do something which is called a chain stitch. Now chain stitch is what we start everything with. This piece here was just started with a few chain stitches, and you build out a circle and then you add some more stitches around the end. All crochet work starts with a chain stitch, so basically learning how to do this stitch is really important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do that now. Before I say that as well, you've got to say there are lots and lots of people out there, like I've said before, who do wonderful videos, and most of those have really nice manicured nails. Not really me. I will try to grow them, you know, just so it looks a bit more professional, but at the moment I'm just biting my nails because I suffer from anxiety. I mean, what do you expect? Anyway, I've got some yarn here. This is just a piece of yellow cotton, and what we start to do with our yarn is we have to make a loop. We have to make a starting stitch. So basically how I do this, there's a couple of ways of doing it, but the most simplest way for me is I get my loop and I sort of cross it over, so I've almost made like a little ribbon. Okay, so as you can see, just get your loop or get your yarn, twist it round, make a little ribbon like thing, and then basically hold that really tight in the middle. This is your crochet hook. Okay, now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to show you how I hold it. Put that down for the minute. You hold a crochet hook. It's important to hold it how you're comfortable. There will be lots of instructions on various other people saying you hold it this way, you hold it that way, but you have to tend to sort of hold it like you're holding a pen. Okay, so it's more comfortable to do that than trying to do anything like this, or you know, just hold it like you would a pen. Okay, and then you get that flexibility around and you can move the hook around. So that's quite important. Find a comfortable way to hold your crochet hook. If you're left-handed, there are again other videos that very clever people do that show you how to crochet left-handedly. That in the background was just my cats, again jumping and attacking each other, but they're fine, don't worry. So basically you get your crochet hook and you hold it like a pen. Okay, but the first thing you do, we're going to get our piece of yarn, okay, and you'll twist it and hold it here. Now you get your crochet hook being held like a pen, and you basically stab that into the hole. And I look at it as like, oh, I need to find the other thread. So as you can see, I'm sort of twisting the hook. I bring that hook around and I pull that through, and then I hold the two pieces with my other finger. Pull that tight, and you can see I've got a hook with a knot. Oh, sorry, a loop with a knot. Crochet is just basically making loops of wool and then finding ways to make them secure. So you're just looping, securing. That's all crochet really is. Now what you need to do is just pull that up so it's nice and close to your crochet hook. That's your first starting stitch. Okay, Now, when you start crochet, you will start with something called a chain. Now, holding the wool in your other hand, I basically thread my wool through this way and hold it. It's hard to do this when you're talking because you just normally do it. So if I make a first stitch, then I can show you. I hold my yarn this kind of way, thread it through your fingers, and what you do is when you've got your hook, you wrap that around, and for the first stitch you pull that like that, and that's one chain. Okay, so if I show that again, hoop it around through, that's a chain. Now again, so as you can see, I'm holding my hook like a pen. I've got my yarn threaded this way, and you tend to sort of keep the yarn taut and keep the chain taut, and you use the hook rather than moving your hands. That is quite tricky when you first start. So if you're first starting, yeah, you can do this. You can sort of, but that's more of a knitting move, okay? But if that's how you feel comfortable, do that. But I would recommend trying to get into the habit of holding the yarn so the minimum movement is done with the yarn hand, and you're using this hand a lot more to create those chains. Okay, so through, it's like a little twist and through. Now you can see why we have a hook. Twist, through, twist and through. Okay, so that, what I've made here, these are chain. This is your chain or your chain stitches, and everything starts off with that. And I thought, well, as this is sort of a really useful thing to practice, how can we do this without having a hook or having yarn? So I came up with this thought. I have a pen and a ball of string. Get your string from wherever. You might have some in your house or your local corner shop, post office string, anything, and a pen. Now, using a pen to crochet is going to be really difficult, but it'll get you thinking about how crochet starts, helps you practice movements, it'll help you practice holding the yarn, and it's a way to get going without having to have all the equipment. So I'm going to show you here. Again, cross that loop over like it's a ribbon, you know, like a little badge you might wear for charity or whatever, that kind of shape. Now, obviously, if you put your pen, and this is great because you are going to be holding it like a pen, so it gives you good practice for the hook. But of course, the problem is there isn't a hook, so it makes it a bit more difficult. However, you can catch the yarn and pull it through, and there is a knot, like we started on the hook. Pull that tight. Again, try to hold your yarn in a comfortable way. You're holding the pen as you would a crochet hook, and then you basically, with this, you will get into the habit of pulling the loop. It is tricky. And turn that around, and you've made a chain. Do the same again. It's going to be a bit trickier, but you've made another chain. And then you do the same. Oh, my string's just dropped on the floor. Do that again, and you've made another chain. Do that again, and you've made another chain. Now, the reason I'm, see, look, even for me, it's, oh, bugger. Even for me, it's hard because you've got no hook. But what you're doing is you're having a little practice with the things you've got at home. See, look, you see that, so don't worry if you can't do it straight away, it is going to be tricky. But as you can see, you just get, and they're going to be pretty rubbish. They're going to be pretty rubbish chains. They're going to be all over the place, all different sizes, But what you can do is start practicing that movement of the pen and holding like a pen. So when you pick up your hook, when you get it, it'll feel more natural to hold it like a pen. Okay? So it's a little thing you can try to do. You can practice just getting these little loops, feeling how the yarn moves, how you feel comfortable with it, and you can start doing all of that prior to your yarn arriving and prior to your hooks getting there. And I thought it might be useful at this time, something for you to do, something for you to think about, and a practice of a basic stitch which will help you when you actually start to do your crochet. So I'm just going to get the string again, show you one more time with the pen. Easy way to do it. Cross over, pen held like a pen, through here. Okay, pull it tight, not too tight, because obviously because it's a pen you need a bit more space, and then just pull that over. You can, it's fiddly, okay, so don't be put off if you can't manage this one, but it gives you an idea. Okay, it is fiddly because there's no hook. Might be better if you use a smaller pen or a pencil or a chopstick or anything you like, but that way you are getting the idea of just holding the crochet hook. And then when you actually get a hook, you're going to find it so much easier, because you'll be like, hey, I can just hook this now. I mean, what you're making isn't important. This is pretty rubbish, but what you're doing is having a chance to practice before you get your equipment. So hopefully that's a little handy little thing for you to do, and hopefully people are going to be getting their wool pretty soon. Like I said, just basically wool and yarn, that's all you're going to need. Just have a little practice with that. You can even practice that on your finger. It's basically about getting used to handling yarn. If you've never handled yarn before, it just makes it easier. You start fiddling around with it and you say, oh, I can do this, I can see it. And it's just a little bit of practice before you get all your equipment. Hope that's useful, and I hope to be making some more videos about various different bits, and then we'll get started with other lessons on different stitches, etc. Like I say, in the meantime, go on YouTube. There are so many videos out there, wonderful people who make crochet videos, and they make fabulous things, but hopefully this will help you get started. It's something to do while you're whiling away the hours, and I'll hopefully speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.